This is the 2024 Hyundai Kona. Is it the best subcompact crossover? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. And in today's Vehicle Visionary video, we're going to take an in-depth look at this fully redesigned Kona. It's the SEL trim level, it's all-wheel drive, it has an exterior color of neoteric yellow. That looks kind of green to me, but that's what Hyundai calls it. And you don't have just a plain black interior. You have a gray interior, a very nice look actually. So it looks, well, kind of classy in a way. So let's talk about exactly what you're going to get if this is a model you want to buy. If you want to know more about it, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Mike Morgan Hyundai website. That's located here in Shreveport, Louisiana, or Northwest Louisiana. And obviously some very distinctive body lines everywhere you look. And it does look like a Hyundai. It matches other models in the lineup as far as its design goes. Now, one thing that does look a little different here is what we have right here, right across this area. That makes it look more like an EV. But for those of you who are saying, I don't want an EV, well, guess what? No problem, because obviously it's not. But everything you have here is LED, whether it's your daytime running lights, your headlights, everything, tail lights, it's all LED. And you're going to have the body colored mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in. Let's go around to the other side and you can see those turn signal indicators in action. A little bit better to see here without the brightness of the sun. Now they are manually folding side view mirrors, power adjustable. They're also heated and you can see your blind spot monitoring right there. And that will be a good lead in. In fact, let me turn around this way so we can take advantage of the sun. There is your remote. Pretty simplistic, a very light remote, will fit well in your pockets. You ladies can obviously fit that in your purse real well. It has remote start, all of that is there. And roof rails up here, the body colored, or excuse me, the gloss black shark fin antenna. We do have the body colored rear spoiler back here on the rear window, the rear roof spoiler. And then you'll notice that the taillight design is identical to what we see across the area on the front, right there below the hood. So everything very consistent throughout. LED headlight, or excuse me, tail lights finish things up here. Obviously, you're going to have your Hyundai logo right here. Let's talk a little bit about what's under the hood, and then I'll give you the information for that and gas mileage and all those other things you want to know about. Under the hood of the SEL trim level is going to be the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 147 horsepower, and for some people they're going to say, hey, that works for me. If you're not that person, you can go with the inline or limited trim level that has the 1.6-liter turbocharged engine under the hood that makes 190 horsepower. Now in this case, we're looking at a CVT. If you go with the inline or limited with that 1.6-liter, it's going to have an 8-speed conventional style automatic transmission. And let's talk about MPGs here. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a shadow on there where you can see these numbers. 26 city, 29 highway, 27 combined, and 3.7 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And let me reach down here. We'll open the gas door. And if you're curious, number one, you don't have to worry about having the capless fuel fill. I know some of you don't like that, so can't say that I necessarily blame you for that, but you have a conventional style gas cap right here. And the gas tank on this model can hold 12.4 gallons. And for those saying, well, this is the second generation of the Kona, what are the differences in size? The width increases by 1 inch. You're looking at a 2-inch increase of wheelbase. Wheelbase being measured from the center of one wheel to the center of the other, and overall length increases by about 5 inches. And let's talk about usability. How about cargo capacity? Well, we'll open the dampened lift gate. It's not power, but that's okay. At the price point of this model, that's not a bad thing. You're still gonna have an easy time getting that opened it's dampened, so once you move it just a little bit, it'll take over and open itself basically. 25.5 to 63.7 cubic feet is what we're going to have here. You can see that the rear seats are folded flat right there. We'll also find, yep, the magic, it's here, a spare tire. No tire repair kits. I know a lot of you can't stand that. And this cargo cover is easily removable. All you're going to have to do is take this off on both sides, and then you basically can just kind of bump it a little bit with your hand and take it right out. So that makes it even easier to take advantage of your cargo area. Okay, we'll take a look into this gray interior and see. Let's see. The armrest seems to be pretty comfortable. I think I would be okay for a while. It doesn't sound very soft, but when you put your arm up there, it does seem to be all right. And I don't know if I'd call this a door bin as much as a bottle holder, but it could obviously be used to store a couple of different things. Now, let me show you something here. So we have a couple of different seating positions here. You can recline the seats just a little bit, so that works out pretty well. We also have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in, and something that I think will make a lot of people happy, that's going to be the air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console and a couple of USB options. Now here on this model, there is not a sunroof. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. For some people, that's no big deal. For others, they're saying, yeah, I'd really like to have a sunroof. Tell me what you think. And don't worry, I can hear those of you who are clamoring and saying, Tom, I like what I see. Maybe get a different color, or maybe you really like this color. But if you're saying, what would it cost me if I came into Mike Morgan Hyundai and bought this Kona? $28,770, a very reasonable price in this day and age, I would say. Let's see what else you get for that money. Obviously, with the front doors, you're gonna have a little more space. Larger door, wider, so you're gonna have a little more room with the armrest and a larger door bin. I would call this more of a true door bin as opposed to just being a bottle holder in the rear seat area. Although, like I said, you could use that as a multitasker. And comfortable seating here in the front seat. You'll have a power driver's seat. The passenger seat here is going to be manually adjustable, but good news, it is adjustable. A little bit of space up here above the glove box. Fit, well, whatever will fit up there. And then the glove box here, that's a license plate bracket box for today, but there is a reasonable amount of space. And we'll also find some connectivity options here in the front area, as well as the shifter. And we'll also find a couple of cup holders here. And one thing that I think is kind of nice is that the center console lid sits up pretty high. So that's good to use as an armrest. We'll also find that when you open that up, there's a tray right here. Quite a bit of space within. Kind of an interesting setup here because you don't really have a front portion to close that off, but you do have some space. And we'll take a look here on the driver's side door. The only additions here obviously will be the controls for the windows and those power side view mirrors and the things you expect to see there. A very nice looking steering wheel, unique to Hyundai. It looks nice, it looks different from the competition, not just a typical style steering wheel. And obviously right here, you'll control your lighting on the exterior of the vehicle, your headlights, taillights, all that good stuff. And then some of you might know what this lever does. It not only controls the lights, but it also controls the blinkers. How many of you know what that is? You might wonder, you might Google, what exactly is a blinker and does my vehicle have it? And how do I use it? And you might say, how do you know that, Tom? How do you know I need to do that? Well, because I drive around you. Yes, it's all right. You can laugh. If anyone gets offended at that, you're the ones who don't use your blinkers. Now, over here, I can't really say anything funny about this lever. I never really can. Maybe I should think about that. But that controls your front and rear window wipers. And the instrument cluster here, or driver's display, a nice modern look here as far as the overall layout. It really looks good. I think Hyundai has done a really good job here where this is concerned. And if you're wondering, what am I looking at over there on the left-hand side? That is the tachometer. And obviously the speedometer is over on the left-hand side. You can see how much fuel we have left. You've got information you can go through right there. And right here is going to be your infotainment screen, 12.3 inches. Not a lot to deal with here, and that's not to put Hyundai down. I think that's actually a good thing. It looks modern, it's nice, it's convenient to learn and use, and it's simplified. There's not too much here to deal with. And you have some one-touch buttons down here to make it easier to get to, well, whatever you need to get to. Obviously, you also have physical buttons, or knobs, I should really say, that I guess can act as a button right here at least, to control the radio, manage the radio. And yes, you do have a rear view camera, as you can see right here. So that's easy to deal with as far as that goes. See what else we have with our multiple views here. You can see how you can get to that. Pretty simple to deal with. I really like that, one way or another. And you can go into your settings right there if you need to. Really a nice vehicle. For less than $30,000 on the sticker, you get quite a bit. And here is going to be everything for your air conditioning, and you can see that it is dual zone climate control. Keep in mind, again, we're looking at price point here and saying, wow, that's actually a really good price based on what you get for that. A lot of vehicles less than $30,000 are going to come with single zone climate control, at least quite a few out there. Not in this particular case. So a very simplistic interior to learn and use, but yet it has a modern look and feel. And for those who are wondering about the upper console, I'm just going to let you have a look. You can see what all is here as far as the different features and functionality go. And in case you're curious, yes, there are multiple driving modes. Let's take a look at exactly what those are. So you're going to have normal and sport, snow, and that's going to be your drive mode selection. And here's a little added bonus for you. We're going to take a look at the exterior lighting in the best dark situation I can give you. It's not completely dark in here, but you can still get a good idea. Now, one thing that I think Hyundai should have done is had the light go all the way across here, but it doesn't. No big deal with the daytime running light right there. I don't know if we could call those lights. I guess we could, because there are two of them. And let's take a look at what the rear looks like. Now, what you will find back here is that the light does go all the way across. So, not only that, but let's take a look at the interior as well, because I know a lot of you like to see what these vehicles look like after dark. So, like I said, I know it's not completely dark, but dark enough to give you an idea as to how things look. A very nice looking interior at night, very well lit. All right, guys, here we go on our test drive. And one thing I do want to say, somebody may have already said it in the comments section. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that you have a continuously variable transmission. Well, Hyundai calls it an intelligent variable transmission, so I guess I should too. So there we go, we corrected that. But I'll tell you what, I'm pretty impressed with what I see here with this Kona, or what I'm experiencing, I should say, because it is quite a bit of fun to drive. It handles very well, especially being all-wheel drive. Would be a great vehicle for those who maybe live in an area where you deal with a lot of snow. Don't forget, you do have the driving modes to help out with everything. And while I'm cruising along here at speed, I'm going to go into sport mode, and lo and behold, I can tell a little bit of a difference. It's not a major difference, but I kept my foot in the same place on the gas pedal, and I could tell the engine RPM went up, working a little bit easier, a little more freely, so I guess it gives you a little bit more of a fun experience where that's concerned, a little more of a sporty experience, I guess we could say. The ride quality from what I've experienced seems to be really good, actually. And be it that I haven't been on a lot of different road surfaces, still, it seems to handle the bumps on what I've dealt with without a problem. And overall, the interior seems to be comfortable. It fits me pretty well. I don't feel cramped. Now, I know that's going to change from one person to the next as far as how tall you are. But depending on your situation, well, not a big deal. And let's take a listen here. I'm going to get around slower moving traffic. That intelligent variable transmission, it doesn't seem to be too bad. I don't know how it's picking things up on my microphone, my lapel mic, but it doesn't seem to be as obnoxious as some transmissions out there. But I guess that again goes back to something I say a lot in my videos, and that is the fact that it depends on your personal experiences. Some of you might say, oh, Tom, I love that continuously variable transmission, or whatever you want to call it. Or you might say, you know what? I think I'm going to go with the inline or the limited trim level so I can have that 8-speed automatic transmission. And I can't say that I would blame you for that. But a very enjoyable vehicle to drive one way or another. It definitely gives you that nice sporty feeling that you really would kind of expect, I think, from a subcompact SUV, crossover SUV like this. For the right person, it's a great vehicle. It has enough room, definitely not for a big family or anything like that, but overall things seem to be pretty well laid out here, and I definitely like what you experience or what you see with the body lines. And this one was very well redesigned. One of the best redesigns I think I've seen on a vehicle in quite some time, not only inside but outside as well. And for those who notice that flickering effect right there, and I have people ask occasionally, hey Tom, how do I make my new Kona do that? You have to look through the lens of a GoPro. That's the only way. It's not really happening. My camera just makes it look that way. So sorry to disappoint anybody who might have had high hopes where that was concerned for flickering lights on your new Hyundai Kona. So tell me what you think. Is this the best subcompact crossover? I'm very curious to receive your feedback. And don't forget, if you want to know more about this model, maybe come in and purchase it or anything else at Mike Morgan Hyundai, check out the link down in the description of the video. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at the dealership for loaning me this Kona for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. Please hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.